Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert. This is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your Sunday to join me. I really appreciate that. Tonight, I want to talk about furniture. So, furniture, here it goes. Furniture is something that we all utilize at some point in our lives. I understand that some of us like furniture more than others, and some of us don't like furniture at all. I mean, I've met more than a handful of people in my life who don't like furniture. I actually am, in the company of one now. It's really weird when you're a single guy and you're a bachelor, you feel me, and like you just live in your life. You often, in a platonic sense, will meet other bachelors and single men also doing their thing in life. You feel me? And at some point, I remember when I first met my now roommate. He's one of those guys. He doesn't like furniture, and no, and it just like in terms of I get it, like because I'm a minimalist. You feel me? I like if it were up to me, I'd be sleeping on the floor, which I've done before for longer than like 2 years. There was a point in my life for like recently where for 2 years I slept on the floor, like out of choice because I like my back. It just like sleeping on the floor is not bad, honestly. And then like I found that I could just wake up and do push-ups, which is like something I can't really do in my bed because it's so soft or just mushy or whatever. But you sleep on the floor, you wake right up and you can start hammering down some push-ups. That's just a fact. But regardless, I feel like people value different things more and stuff like that. But going back to my lead-in example, there's a lot of people who just don't like furniture. There's an episode of Seinfeld where Elaine dates the mover who is anti-furniture, even though he's a mover and moves furniture all the time. But so I feel it on both vibes. You feel me? I feel that like not having furniture is very empowering in that it's just a bunch of bulky stuff regardless, and if you're not like living a life where you're bringing a bunch of stuff in or you're selling things online or whatever, then yeah, you're not going to definitely need a lot of furniture. Um, I know that in my own personal life, there's been instances where I've tried to bring women over to my apartments when I was younger and I didn't have any furniture. And like that was a problem for them. I've never met a woman who like is cool with the dude having little to no furniture. I don't know if this is a thing. I mean, I'm sure that it is. I'm not saying that like every time I took a girl over to my apartment that I wasn't, in fact engaged in something kind of consensual and cool. I'm just saying that there were a few times where it was made very clear to me by women that I needed to get furniture. At the very least, a couch. I mean, I remember, like, seriously, especially, it's ironic, but this long relationship that I used to be in and out of, and the last time I saw this woman, she, told me that exact thing. She said, she was like, it's really nice to see you, but you need to get some furniture. And then I never heard from her again, but that's also because I had to move out of my apartment. I moved back in with my parents. It's just this whole thing. Life is crazy. And then I ended up at the condo outside of the golf course with the old lady. I don't know. Life throws us some curveballs, but furniture is always going to be a part of our lives or not a part of our lives. I've dated women most recently. The last terrible relationship that I was in, this woman was like in love with some of her furniture, and it always blew my mind because like it's just stuff. You feel me? I mean, furniture is cool and everything, but like, as is anything in life, ladies, gentlemen, they, them, it's just stuff. Who cares? I mean, like, yeah, if you need it, I get it. And it's nice to have. It's definitely, human beings and their nesting habits, right? I mean, I'm a human being. I have nesting habits. I mean, we're not totally. You think about it like this. You ever think about if people, like just normal people, they came from like an alternate timeline and they like flew above the earth, they'd be like, it looks like everyone's camping down there. I mean, like, you ever thought of the world like that? It's kind of weird, right? Looks like a bunch of people camping out on the surface. Some of us have bigger and fancier camps than others, but basically, from an aerial perspective, there's really not much infrastructure or safety, right? Because for all intents and purposes, we're just some creatures flying around real fast on this ball through space. on top of the surface. So I don't know. I just know that furniture can be found underground. Furniture is something that is one of the very first things after tools that has been found in archaeological digs and stuff. Furniture is, no doubt, like, again, a tool for us to use in our lives to make them easier, to make them more appealing for the nesting part of the human being. I mean, I don't know. I always think of that example with this last ex girlfriend and her just being obsessed with this desk or something. And just every time she told me, like, I'll be like, how old are you? It's like, forget the dresser. You feel me? We have bigger problems right now than this dresser that you are insisting to keep. So, furniture can also, cause problems, right? With like couples and people. And for the record, it's easier to not care about stuff so that you don't get all wrapped up around in that and you don't turn premature gray or stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to make it to 40 with like little to no white or gray hair. And what's really weird is the other day I was looking at myself in the mirror in the bathroom and no joke, no joke. So hanging out with Tiffany and she and I were making out and she looks at me when we're done, right? And she's like, babe, I think you need to clean your face. And I was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, really? I was like, this girl just thought I had a dirty face because of my white stubble. I'm like, oh my God, it was hilarious. It's like, I'm 36 years old, but like, I have, like the facial white hair of Santa, so it's kind of weird. I guess it's kind of so weird that when hook up with women and you're making out with them and they're younger than you and they pull back, they think your face is dirty. No, I'm sorry, dear. My face is not dirty. It's just white stubble from being an old man. Oh my goodness. I'm not old yet. I'm not old yet. I'm not going to be old till I turn 40. I told myself that when I was 30. I'm not going to keep telling myself that though, because at some point, you just are old and that's the way it is. It's just you're young, you're middle-aged, you're old, and then, it's your time. It's your time. So I don't know, I've kind of always addressed each area of life as I've needed to address it. But I know that last year my roommate, I do have some hair dye, so I'm ready. You feel me? Like I'm ready for it. It's like, come on, gray hair, I'm ready. I'm not sure what color hair it's going to be in a few years, if in fact, because once I start dyeing it, who knows? All bets are off. As long as it's not white, I don't really care what color it is. You feel me? So that's where I'm at. Furniture is the topic of tonight's video. I know we've kind of strayed away from that a little bit, but improvisational speaking is my favorite methodology of communication. It requires a lot of spontaneity. It requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of things you never think. A successful improvisational speaker is taught to possess. And so tonight was kind of a little bit different in that I have 4 words in front of me. I have movies, furniture, music, and space. And we just finished talking about furniture. Listen, I got to mix it up, in my life too with the content. And I try to do this so that I can remain entertaining on some kind of very basic level for y'all. I really do appreciate everybody that's been stopping by the channel. We get a couple hundred views every single day, without question, from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. It's a really remarkable, honestly. It's quite remarkable to see channels grow. And I know that this channel in particular is the most important thing to me. It's something that, I will continue to be committed towards, and I just will always be grateful for y'all willing to give me the opportunity to be a part of your life. I really appreciate that. I do. And so I'll continue to do my best and be silly and entertaining and, try to, again, shed some light on some topics that people don't necessarily talk about all the time. And there is an active Patreon. So hop on patreon.com/@VlogsBoutNothin. Sign up for a membership. I really appreciate it. You know, the first membership we get will be the first person that I definitely shout out here on the channel, but that has not happened yet. I will remind everybody that there is a 7-day free trial included with that package on patreon.com/vlogsboutnothin. So definitely check it out. And I hope that you guys have a really good night. Oh, and for the record, I'm going through tonight and adding all of the links in the descriptions because I was going through the videos earlier and I know that I didn't, but that's because I really barely had time to sleep at all really this last week. So tonight I'm going to spend some time going back through all the most recent videos. Plus I was sick. Today was like the only day where I felt like, and I didn't even really notice it until I was singing, that like I feel better. So there's always that. I guess I was sick for like a week or something. It was pathetic. I hated it. I was just coughing everywhere and I couldn't breathe. And it's just really gross being a human being, isn't it? I hope that you guys have a really good night and thanks again for watching my channel. Bye.